Hey there, this is our first official episode of the Sexcapade Chronicles. I'm Jen, the Queen of Dating.
I'm Lisa, Pink Lady Investigations.
And we are here to entertain you with our tales of sexcapades from our clients and ourselves. Apparently that was not...
Awkward silence. So, let's start with where I went today.
Okay.
So, I was going to the jail in Modesto.
That's right. Knock over my drink. Yeah, wouldn't be a podcast without this happening.
Literally drink just spilled on the floor.
All over the floor. Perfectly good alcohol. Now on the floor. Oh, see, this is off to a wonderful start. Anyhow, so tell me about where you went today.
So, I was down in Modesto going to the jail because, that's what I do.
Oh, you can't really
I can't see it. And I found this bright pink building, and so I kind of circled through, and it is a bikini coffee bar. I was wondering why it was a bunch of trucks in the drive-thru.
Can you see it?
Oh.
A little bit.
I'll
We'll have to post it later.
It'll be on Instagram and Facebook and all that. But, yeah, so this chick, I pull up, and I was like, so what is this place? I go from Sacramento. I have no idea what this is. And she's like, oh, we're all over the Bay Area. It's a bikini coffee bar. I was like, all right, cool. And I was like, can I take a selfie with you, or is that weird? And she took a selfie with me.
And so I posted this on Facebook after Lisa did, and the feedback was the guys were all about it, and the women felt objectified and horrified that this was a thing now.
I still think it's cool.
I mean, if you can get away with like that, why would you not?
I will not be working in it.
I don't know. I think it would at least give you a good conversation point.
What? So Justin created some memes with the picture, and I have to post them because they're really funny. The picture of side by side of me and her.
That's
so
good.
have to post them.
So this is what we do with our free time. We go take pictures with bikini bar people in Modesto in between your jail run.
Well, I had to go to jail first, of course. Max security,
Yeah, you made it through. You were a little concerned.
Well, when they come in shackled, it's kind of where I was like, oh! The handcuffs were shackled to his waist, and then they shackled his feet to the bench on his side.
It sounds like kink gone wrong, but it's like you're talking about seeing a client in jail. Anyhow.
He was nice.
Well, as long as he was nice and he was shackled, it was a good day in the jail or prison.
Yeah, in the jail, it was good. I didn't get lost because they escorted me to and from.
Oh, well, that's good that they didn't
so
just leave you general population with the people in handcuffs and the men that haven't seen women in years. That's really
I wasn't wandering aimlessly.
She texted me and called me in the parking lot about the going into the jail. I wasn't sure this was a podcast was gonna happen. She was telling me how concerned she was about not having her phone and being able to return, in a timely manner.
Yeah, because you can't have your phone, so if something happens.
Yeah, well, this would not happen, obviously, be happening. So we were talking earlier a little bit about, the reasons people date, and the reasons that, people have sex, and we talked about having sex for sport versus having sex because you're in a relationship, so it's a little bit different.
Right.
And, if you're having sex for fun and you're dating, you're going to accumulate a certain number of partners. Mm-hmm. Now, so as the token single one of the two of us, when you have to discuss how many people you've slept with, what do you usually say? What would sound good to a married person?
I don't respond. The conversation, we've been together for 7 years now. Mm-hmm. I've never given out a number.
Yeah. See, I think that there's nothing good that can come from talking about your numbers, right? Because it's either you're gonna look like a prude or you're gonna look like a slut, and none of those things are really.
Or they're not gonna believe you anyway.
Well, or they're gonna believe you, and that's the problem. So how many people is too many people?
Right.
You're in your mid-30s. If you've been dating, like I have for almost 13 years now, you're not gonna, be in the single digits most likely anymore. And, people kind of judge harshly.
Right.
And, everyone wants to believe that the people they are dating haven't been with other people, but unfortunately, as you know, as an investigator,
right,
that's probably not going to be the case.
Right. So, do you think there is an official, number?
I'm
if I say a number?
I'm like,
I'm gonna be like, is that her number? I'm not gonna. I don't know my number. I've never known it.
I don't really either. We can guesstimate, but let's not do that.
I've been married 3 times. I'll say 3.
Yeah. Well, I've been married once. We don't want to count that. That was 23 days and a horrible life decision.
Doesn't count.
Doesn't count. But, I was engaged for, 4 years, so that's 2. Confirmed. But, like, one of those things of, in our culture today, people talk about empowering one another, but it's still the stigma that goes along with women. If they're having sex because they want to have sex, they're a slut, and,
What about guys?
Well,
guys can have a higher number, and it's okay.
They're still sluts, but it's more acceptable for them to be. And that's the kind of one of the things that in Snowfest I, loved, was there was no double standard. You came to Snowfest, and everyone was just having the time of their lives. Guys, girls, didn't matter, no judgment. And I think that if people could kind of, put their egos aside and be honest with themselves, do you think that would be, easier to date?
People are gonna judge other people. It doesn't. I think they're either gonna think it's too high, too low, or you're lying. I don't think talking about a number does any good.
Yeah. So what do you say though? Like when someone asks you what your number is, I mean, what would you say? Should be my answer. To such questions. Enough to be good at it. Is that not appropriate? Is that not what you tell people? Oh. I'm really glad that I'm single. Okay, no, I'm joking about this being single thing. This is gonna be our next conversation.
Right.
So, when you're dating and you're exclusively dating someone, and that's the rules and expectations, but you're not boyfriend-girlfriend.
Okay, that's not a thing.
Yeah, no, it's not, a thing. And, having to convince someone last night, that you have no expectations beyond that, and labels don't matter, because labels don't mean shit when it comes down to it. Putting married on it, or wife, or something doesn't actually say what you expect of that person.
Right.
So, I could be dating other people if it wasn't exclusive and not have to be accountable to someone.
Right.
But boyfriend, girlfriend, doesn't that mean, you actually are serious about that person?
I just think that's what exclusive is. If you're not seeing anyone else, then you're exclusive, then they're your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yeah.
So my logic.
Well, mine too, but, I don't care about labels, because I've never really been, one that, colors in the lines, but, nonetheless, it was very confusing to me how that meant it was not serious if we didn't put a label on it. But we were not seeing other people.
So then...
I'm just saying, this is, a common thing. I know that people get, all hung up on these sorts of things. What does one do with that? I mean,
well, because it's not a thing. I don't know how to handle this question. So you're exclusive, but not boyfriend or girlfriend, or you're not exclusive and you are boyfriend or girlfriend?
We are exclusive, but not boyfriend, girlfriend.
So he doesn't want to have to say he has a girlfriend. But he doesn't want you sleeping with anyone else.
Okay, he doesn't want me to date anybody else. He's not going to be with anybody else. He was very adamant about this. I don't know if this is a married person thing,
You know what? I think the label freaks him out because he's no longer married.
Yes. So you cannot say, that is, something you've been... I mean, if you've been married for 15 years, which this person has, you become very comfortable with having that label, and then you're now getting divorced.
Right.
And not because of me. I need to really put this out there, because that was applied by a few people. That did not happen that way. I'd known the person for a couple of years, though, when they were still married, but I'm not the reason they're getting divorced. Really need to put that out there as, an important conversation point.
Right.
Because, people will say such things. Because implying.
Right. Because he's going through a divorce while you're dating it. It can come off a little wrong.
He got divorced and they told me he was getting divorced. Right. We were friends. I think it's actually for me it was better because he's seen the worst phase of my life when I was, not doing so well a couple of years ago when things were going on, and he knew what he was getting. So it's can't get any worse and can get better, right? But the whole numbers thing came up, seeing me date people and knowing about my lifestyle and such. I think that would be hard for someone that was married for 15 years to come into. So do you think that has to do with not wanting to put a label on it because it's me?
I think the label freaks him out because I'm sure when he got married, he figured that was for life.
Yeah.
So that's thrown out the window.
Yeah. So
that label of husband and wife forever isn't there. So maybe he's afraid the label of boyfriend or girlfriend.
Well, I'm asking you because you've been divorced a few times and married. I mean, this is where your expertise comes in.
So I shouldn't care about labels because I've been married a couple times before. Marriage to me should probably not mean anything.
Yeah.
It should mean just a piece of paper because you just...
Get a new one.
You just replace them and move on, get a new one.
Sure. So that's still the same for me.
But well, me and Justin, we had to get married. I was like, made that clear. Because I wanted that label. I wanted it on paper. I wanted it... Like,
that's like our issue. Husband. Yeah, but like Tess is like an abandonment thing. Right. You always think everyone's gonna leave us. You want to lock that shit down. You're like, you can't leave now.
It's funny because I've been divorced. Divorce happened, so why do I think
it's a control thing?
Probably.
He really loves me a lot, so he's not going to leave. I think that never.
You are mine forever.
Never, ever.
Right.
Well, I say ever. Forever and ever. Because people change. So, like, I think that, like, you know, like, when I was having this conversation, I was like, I don't care about getting married, because people change. When it stops being fun, like, I want there to be a way out. I mean, like, and I don't mean, like, you know, the party is over, but, like, you know, like, if it's not fun and you're not making each other happy anymore, like, you shouldn't just stay because you're married.
Right.
And you're afraid of, like, what's on the other side of it.
Right.
You know, like, the fear part.
Yeah.
I mean, I stayed in a bad relationship for many years because I didn't want to have to publicly talk about the queen of dating and her demise of her relationship publicly and, like, what went on. And you saw the Facebook post today of, like, when I was heavy and, like, that's when I was at my worst. And, like, you know, you stay in bad relationships.
Right. Because
you're fearful of, like, what happens when I'm not with this person.
I stayed for 8 years last time.
Yeah.
But that was more for the kids.
Yeah.
I was miserable.
Yeah. But that's what people do, you know, like, they actually stay and, like, you know, are loyal. I don't want someone to be with me just because, like, they feel like they can't, well, they probably could do better, but, like, no, just kidding, that's the best. I'm the best of the best. But, like, you know, you want to be with someone that's choosing you, I guess, on a daily basis, and I've always felt like relationships are supposed to be a choice.
You don't want the person to wake up and look at you and go, oh, fuck.
Yeah, fuck. Like,
you're still there.
You haven't gone anywhere. Like, you know. Like,
hey, one more day with you.
Sometimes I feel like that. that the person's going to wake up and be like, you know, fuck. What did I get into? But that's the funny part about it, I guess what's going on is, like, he knew exactly what he was getting into. Right. And you still signed up anyways.
Right.
Like, it can't be that bad, you know. The way we see ourselves isn't accurate. We were talking about this when we were running the other day.
Right. After my therapy appointment.
You know, because we were self-reflect a lot, and these are the things, I guess, that people that are strong and, like, you know, trying to grow do. It's hard to do. Right. And so sometimes we don't see ourselves accurately. I have PTSD, and I was speaking, you know, at Mental Health Matters Day for 30 minutes. They're giving me a microphone at the Capitol next month. But, you know, my PTSD struggles are pretty public. But people didn't know when I was going through it, like, what was wrong and, like, why I was behaving so badly and, like, drinking so much and just, like, you know, being so reckless and, like, just trying to survive. And I think that, you know, how we judge ourselves so harshly kind of translates to what we do for a living. You know, like, we're such perfectionists. You know, I'm a dating coach, you're a private eye, you know, investigator. You know, like, we try to help people so they don't feel the pain and suffering that we have.
That's it. That is exactly. Because all the shit I went through. And then I'm like, okay, if I can help a woman not sit there, or a man, I honestly, I don't care. But my logic was, if I can help a woman not wonder where the fuck her husband is at night, and I can let her know she's not alone and she's not, you know, hopeless and helpless, then I'm doing something good.
Yeah, so you're giving back. Like, you're using your resources for the positive. And so that's, like, when I started the Queen of Dating, like, 6 years ago, is being able to utilize the skill set of, like, behavior and understand people, what motivates them, and patterns of behavior. That those who can't do teach, you know. No, this is debatable, but, you know, I was a teacher for many years. I developed college courses at Sierra College and taught 3 classes on dating and such. And I think that, you know, like, we're always trying to give back and better ourselves. And so that's why I say I think it should be a choice every day. Only because when you're not working at it anymore and you're not choosing it, you kind of become complacent and, like, you're not as attracted to that person anymore.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's true?
I like the complacency.
You do?
It's my safety.
It's your safety?
It's my safe place. I like knowing that every morning I'm gonna roll over and there he is. It's
like your baseline, basically.
Yeah, like that's where I start my day, that's where I end my day, that's my happy place.
And see, like, I guess, like, because of being on my own for so long, I have so much fear associated with being dependent on anybody. You know, like, I don't want to, like, wake up and, like, be like, oh, I need another person. Because...
oh, I'm not dependent on anybody.
I meant emotionally in any way dependent upon looking forward to such things as waking up with the same person. Right. Not just waking up with a person, the same person. We're really clear about this. Explicitly clear. You know, I mean, there's a difference.
Right.
Well, for me. I think it's just, like, one of those interesting things that people kind of, like, overlook, I guess. Like, that the comfort of being in a relationship.
Right. I think that's why people that get married young, I think it ends because they're so... I didn't know who I was when I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
30s. I'm 41 now, I think I know.
Well, I'm going to be 36, and I don't have, like, a clue still. It's, like, a work in progress, just like everything else in my life.
Right.
But I think you're always, like, rediscovering yourself, like, and, like, changing. Because it's, like, you know, I was a teacher all those years when I started the Queen of Dating, and then I started J. Brand events, and then doing the movie premieres, and then now being, like, speaking about PTSD, and, like, you know, the clothing line, Hot Mess Express, and then now doing the podcast. Like, everything, you're changing, and you're growing as a person.
Right.
And your career and life choices kind of reflect that a lot of the time. And so that's what marriage scares me, and the commitment, because, like, you're evolving as a person because of your experiences. And what if that person's not growing with you? Then you divorce them and find a new one? Is that the solution?
Oh, good God, okay.
I don't know. I thought that was...
So, yes. I don't
Exactly.
have the right answer.
Yeah.
When one person stops growing, it makes it hard.
It does make it hard. So I think that, like, you know, my hesitation of putting labels and everything on it is, like, you don't know if that person wants to grow with you or not, you know, or what stage you're at in life. Like, I've been single for a really long time. If I'm gonna, like, commit to one person, like, it takes a whole hell of a lot. You have to be very special.
Right.
You've met this person. They're very special.
Yeah. I think he's very special.
Yeah, he is. He's, like, you know, has a very high threshold for the shit showiness that is. And is, you know, seen the worst of the worst. Perhaps I was passed out outside the hotel room and he had to come find me. And perhaps a few years ago. How we became friends. Out of every great relationship, there's a story. And Jen's passed outside the wrong hotel room, mind you. The wrong one. Outside the chapel. You know, no big deal. Obviously, this is the Tahoe story. You don't wonder why I'm in Tahoe all the time. Because all of it gets covered up by the casino host. So, any final thoughts for
I want to
today?
see you in Vegas then.
Oh, God.
If that's your Tahoe, I want to see you in
I
Vegas.
told you I tried to sleep on the sidewalk outside of Hard Rock. I mean, we'll get to that in the next episode, the Jen Bryan Chronicles of, like...
I did that in Carmichael, so you know.
She tried to sleep on the lawn, it's true. These are the stories that you have to look forward to. We hope you enjoyed today, and we have so much more to come for you guys. So hopefully you tune in every week to hear about the Sexcapade Chronicles and
our shit show.
And our shit showiness that is an ongoing, you know, daily thing. After I have to clean up my cocktail off the floor, so I have hardwood floors. So until next time.
Yeah, until next time.
All right, see you guys later.
Bye.